You already know Kowloon Restaurant, established in 1950 and spanning 4 generations, serves a multi-Asian menu. Did you also know that Kowloon Restaurant is New England's premier Asian dining and entertainment complex, serving Cantonese, Szechuan, Thai, and Polynesian cuisine? And did you know that Kowloon Restaurant is also the home of the finest Japanese sushi? If you haven't dined at Kowloon Restaurant lately, then you simply haven't dined at Kowloon. Kowloon Restaurant, Route 1 North in Saugus.
This is Shelton Benjamin.
This is Harley Race.
This is Mick Foley.
This is Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff.
This is the Monster Abyss.
This is Daniel Bryan.
This is JBL, and you're watching the MWF.
Be there live.
Wrestling fans around the corner, around the world, welcome to another installment of Wrestling Insiders. I'm Dan Marotti, joined by the man that loves Fiji more than the Superfly Jimmy Snuka and Superfly Roland Snook, John Cena Sr. Johnny, pleasure to see you again.
Same here, my friend. Tonight,
tomorrow night, it's back, the King of the Ring tournament. It's been treated almost like a bastard stepchild at times. We haven't seen a King of the Ring since 2010. When King Sheamus was crowned, right after Survivor Series.
Well, tonight we start. Tonight on Raw, it's King of the Ring, and then you say again, the next night it's on the network for the finale. So
that's right, fans, if you haven't heard about it as of yet, King of the Ring is going to begin on Raw tonight, the night after Extreme Rules, and then it's going to culminate on a live special on the WWE Network tomorrow night, which is Tuesday. If you don't subscribe to WWE Network, you can sign up now for free at WWE.com and take advantage of that great value. WWE Network is free for the rest of the month. Not only do we have King of the Ring tomorrow night for free, but after SmackDown Thursday night, Stephanie McMahon is going to be joining Chris Jericho live on his podcast.
But you'll pay for that because there's
no, that's still April.
But $9.99 free for 4 days.
You get it free until May
27,
1st.
28, 29, 30.
Right.
That's it. Then you go to May 1st.
Right.
So
you can still get 4 free days out of the deal.
Okay. You push that network, brother. I don't know what your payback is, but push that network.
I just want fans to enjoy wrestling. I want more wrestling fans engaged with what's going on. But I want to talk a little bit about King of the Ring, Johnny. I wasn't even a wrestling fan when the tournament began in 1985 at Foxborough Stadium. Magnificent Don Morocco, King of the Ring, in the finals against another dastardly heel, our good friend, the Iron Sheik. Were you a fan back in those days?
I was. Yes, I was. And I remember that. King of the Ring started then, and it just grew and grew and grew and grew. I think it kind of lost its aura. I think that's why they kind of stopped it. It was kind of like, what makes me King of the Ring? What makes me, and again, you know, Triple H, King of Kings, that's a story about Jesus. But King of Kings, the man of man, the big guy, he was our big King of the Ring. I guess it puts you in a spot where you get a championship shot. My guess is the way King of the Ring is going to end this time, I suppose we'll see Roman Reigns as King of the Ring.
No. Well, you know what? You never know. In 2015, I'd like to think that almost like the WrestleMania Battle Royal, it could be someone positioned to move up the ranks in WWE. Royal Rumble is the perfect spot for that, but you can't take someone maybe in the mid-card, young guy that's being groomed for the top because you have the WrestleMania title shot on the line. Something like the WrestleMania Battle Royal could be looked at as a spot to groom someone young, and similar with King of the Ring, which was done in the past. So you got to look at the past winners.
I have Bret Hart, Paul Levesque, Triple H.
Listen, calm yourself down there throwing out the real names there, Johnny Cash.
You stop and you look at the people who won it. It wasn't up-and-comers. It was people who were already established.
That's not true.
Let's go back over. And
All right, well, go back to 1986. Look at the push Harley Race got when he won the King of the Ring tournament in Foxborough.
Established wrestler.
Not WWE.
But
He
established.
looked like an old man in WWE.
But he was established. There was no entry-level person or person that had come up from, let's use the NXT level, that was promoted to King of the Ring. So what you're really saying to me is we've taken the seasoned wrestler, provided him with the crown, made him king, Harley Race, and now let's work on the character. So right now you hold no validity with me.
Did you know Harley Race was banned from being the king in Memphis due to a lawsuit by Jerry Lawler?
That is correct.
He had to be just Harley Race when he feuded with Hogan there. That's an interesting fact. But after the two big stadium shows in Foxborough, it moved over to the Providence Civic Center. They missed a couple of years there, but you had even Bret the Hitman Hart becoming King of the Ring before it was all said and done. And those were just house shows.
I understand.
They were non-televised. They weren't on pay-per-view or anything like that. They skipped 1992, and then in 1993 it became a great pay-per-view extravaganza. And you were right, Bret the Hitman Hart won the first televised King of the Ring with 3 outstanding matches on that 1993 show, defeating Mr. Perfect, Razor Ramon, and Bam Bam Bigelow in 3 very different matches. That's a tip of the hat. I think that was one of Bret Hart's finest nights.
Well, let's see who will be King of the Ring.
1994, though, you want to talk about someone that really got some oomph out of it. What about Owen Hart? There was a guy that was an undercard jobber for WWE for a long, long time. He got the win over his brother in an upset at WrestleMania 10, then became king in Baltimore, as a matter of fact, in 1994.
Once again, we go back to the seasoned individual. It's not an up-and-comer, it's somebody who's seasoned.
He was an up-and-comer. He wasn't a top guy at that point.
I wouldn't call him a jobber. I would call him a...
Owen, you look at Owen Hart's career prior to 1994, and you wouldn't call him a jobber.
Well, you know what? You all have to do what you have to do to get to the top. So,
well, I'm just saying, they used that platform to really elevate him.
Right, but also to give him the experience necessary to bring him where he needed to get. So, when I think jobber, I think, Mr. Darty, who looked at the ceiling an awful lot, that's your jobber. The fellow they used to call in from the Kowloon restaurant to wrestle, Mr. Wong.
Andy Wong was a jobber back in the day.
I don't think so.
His food certainly doesn't do jobs. It goes down just fine, brother.
Fine, yep.
That's a great introduction we have to all of these shows, is we get to tease the fans with the great Kowloon food, and we technically tease ourselves because I know I usually leave here a lot hungrier once I see the video.
Well, 62 pounds later, I get there when I can, but I don't eat as much as I used to. So
that's moderation, brother.
Yep.
That's what the Sheik used to say about his medicine.
Yep. Well, if you saw that special on Netflix, which we're digressing now, I think that special on Netflix on the Sheik, Iron Sheik, well done, well produced. I think it says a lot about the man. I think it says a lot about people who abused him, both financially and mentally. I think he's finally found some people that have respect for him. I'm not saying that they're not making money, but the Sheik is also making money. He's off the medicine. He's now doing great rehab things. He's making a ton of appearances.
No, he's not making any appearances at all.
Oh, but he is.
Johnny, I talked to him the other day. He's in awful condition.
Well, then the documentary...
They filmed that a couple of years ago.
Then he must be really down in the dumps because...
I really felt bad talking to him because he wants to get out of that house, but he just physically, the poor guy's beaten up. I haven't seen that documentary. I know a lot about it.
Excellent. Everybody that's seen it really enjoyed it.
You know how much Sheiky Baby means to me. He's a pain in the ass and can drive you crazy, but he has a good heart and he's a good human being.
Well, the same with you. You're a pain in the ass and can drive me crazy. But, so if the shoe shits, wear it. But I think that the Sheik...
I miss him. I wish he was here with us right here at this table right now. And I told the Sheik, what do we have to do to get you up here? I said, I'll get you a wheelchair if you need it. I said, what can we do to give you the accommodations you need to be comfortable up here? Because we want you back. And he just said, call me in a couple weeks. It just, his voice was weak, and it broke my heart a little bit to hear him like that, because I know how full of life he can be at times, if that's a respectful way to put it about Hossein Khosrow Vaziri.
Well, what has to happen is if people book him, they cannot lead him into temptation with alcohol and drugs.
That's not going to happen here.
You can't do that to this man. You have to, and I said this to you before, and I'll say it to any promoter, you included, that you need to treat the Sheik like the Sheik, the legend that he really is. And, we don't put him up in fleabag hotels. We don't take him to McDonald's. We take him to restaurants that he can enjoy.
Well, see,
but he's
the
the
Sheik,
Sheik.
all right, the Sheik right now, where he's in a delicate situation, certainly deserves some special consideration. But
He
most
deserves it.
superstars, the names that are brought in for events, I don't know what kind of special treatment they deserve other than to be paid what they're promised and be given a positive platform to appear at.
You certainly don't want to put me up at a Red Roof Inn where they have all kinds of garbage.
Red
going.
Roof Inn is nice in Saugus,
well,
Massachusetts.
Well, I certainly wouldn't pay $175, $275 for a room over there.
You should see how nice the remodeled rooms are.
I'm sorry.
Most of WWE stays there when they're in town.
I think you're wrong about that.
I know I'm right about that.
Well, I know you're wrong about that.
I know I'm right about
Well,
that. Do you
that's
want to
fine.
go, brother?
No, listen.
I'm not saying
My
everybody.
inside source tells me that they used to stay there, and the person that I know very well used to book the rooms for him there, but not anymore. So you may have your side of it. I have my side of it. I'm not going to argue about it. I don't care where they stay. As long
I'm
as
just
they-
saying that's a
as long as
quality
they come
hotel.
to the there are.
Are there better hotels?
I am
Sure.
not going against. I'm not going to be in adverse position against the Red Roof Inn. The Red Roof Inn is there. It's a fine establishment. It's a great hotel.
People are paying $1.75 a night. It can't be that bad. I
You know
wouldn't,
what?
but
The fact is, it's there, and you're kind of like when you go to a ball game. Where else can I get a Frankfurt? So it's close to where I want to be. They don't want to pay the prices to stay at the airport. So that's why they're so successful.
I'll tell you this, and actually this came to mind when I went to the Cauliflower Alley Club reunion. I was telling you before we went on the air. I got stuck in Minneapolis for the night because I missed my connection, and I wound up staying at a Resident Inn Marriott, $60. It was beautiful.
Residence Inn is one of.
That'd be a $250, $300 room in Boston.
I stay there all the time when I visit my son in Rochester, New York.
How much do you pay for it out there?
$80.
See? That just shows how much of a ripoff this area is. Not that this has anything to do
But
with
you know what it
King of the
is?
Ring.
If
But
I can get $50 for a ticket for wrestling, I'll do it. Whatever the market will bear, and I think that they did a tremendous job remodeling. My question is, being a tough old Yankee fellow, being Italian, I sit back and say, is it worth $1.75, $2.50? Then I sit back.
Residence
Much like
Inn is,
being
though.
king
That's
of the
a
ring.
nice hotel.
Nice like being king of the ring.
All right, 95, though. A man that competed in the Millennium Wrestling Federation, Big Daddy V, then known as King Mabel. He was taking a step up from a tag team competitor to the main event. He flopped in that position, but he again was given the platform to rise. Then
You don't know unless you try. Unless
absolutely,
you're given
that's a good
given
point.
that shot, and I've got to give credit to Vince McMahon. He's given a lot of wrestlers a lot of shots, and you are who you are. You either take that wave and ride it, or you take that wave and you can't handle it, you sink. So the opportunity is yours. The brass ring statement that he made, great statement. I think it says a lot. If you're willing to try to climb the mountain, I think there's a reward at the end. If you're content to be at the bottom and wonder if you can get at the top, you'll never make it. So King of the Ring is a great example of where they bring someone in who has the potential, who has the desire, and say, okay, you've paid your dues, now let's give you the final shot. Let's give you that shot.
1996, you talk about someone that grabbed the brass ring out in the great state of Wisconsin. What about Stone Cold Steve Austin? That was the night Austin 316 began, when you really think about it.
Another guy that somebody in WCW said, you'll never make it. I believe that was Bischoff that said that to him.
Again, a stupid comment by him is you have to remember Steve Austin had at that point 5 years of national TV experience and was making $250,000, but that's neither here nor there.
But now Bischoff, I understand, is going to work with Jeff Jarrett on his promotion. This could be very interesting. We could really have some good things happening here.
When we did our 2015 preview show, not to digress from King of the Ring, but for a minute, we talked about there was a lot of great potential for things going on. Lucha Underground right now has Mysterio and Alberto Del Rio, or what's his name now? Alberto El Patron.
El Patron.
You've had your share of the El Patron, brother.
I sure have.
That's
yes, I have. Another story for another time.
97, Providence Civic Center, the day I graduated from high school. Can you believe that? Triple H defeated Mankind to become the King of the Ring, something that was held off for a year because of the clique shenanigans at Madison Square Garden of May of 1996, when they held their own little curtain call to say goodbye to Kevin Nash and Scott Hall as they went to WCW. Triple H certainly took that crown and he elevated himself. He became a true main eventer as 1997 rolled into
Busted
1998.
his ass to get where he is, and regardless of what some people say, he deserves everything he has because nobody gave Triple H anything. He busted his ass to get there, and that's what the brass ring's all about. If you want it, go for it. Bust your ass, work hard, and you will succeed. The trouble is, a lot of people are content to be where they are. King of the Ring, who cares? If that's going to mean something to me in terms of where I go from here, you can bet your ass I'm going to be going for that brass ring. I'm going to try to reach the top of the mountain. But, you know, I think that merely to make it to the promotion seems to be what most people want. After that, I just don't know where it goes from there.
Well, you had a couple, as the years went on, a couple of people that really didn't do as much with it, whether it have been from their own hunger, whether it have been from the execution of what they were presented with creatively. Ken Shamrock won in 1998, and Badass Billy Gunn, who was groomed for a significant push that really failed in 1999.
Well, sometimes we're our own worst enemies.
Well, Billy Gunn, I think, the one thing you'd say about him is he is really suited to be a tag team competitor because he was excellent and not only New Age Outlaws with what he's best remembered as, but with the Smoking Guns.
I agree.
They were a great tag team. And those are two deceptively big human beings, the Smoking Guns.
I agree.
I'm a pretty big guy. Those guys towered over me.
Yep. Well, there again, once again, like I say, there are some people who became King of the Ring and succeeded, others who never became King of the Ring and have succeeded. You look at Brock Lesnar, Batista, Cena, Undertaker. You look at all these individuals, and one more time, King of the Ring, a nice step up. It gives somebody the chance to say, I am King of the Ring. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. You know what? A king has a kingdom. So to whom do you preside and who are your subjects? The WWE Universe? The individuals that are within the circle? I have no idea what King of the Ring is all about. Other than you get a crown, you get a throne.
And you get a push.
And that's exactly right.
So, let me ask you this. In 1999, Billy Gunn had a song, I'm an Ass Man. Have you ever been an ass man in your days with the lovely, fabulous women?
Kissing arses? Never.
I'll talk about the year 2000. I don't know if you were there for it, Johnny. Right here at the Fleet Center in Boston, Kurt Angle became king.
I agree.
And look at the push he got out of it. 3 or 4 months later at No Mercy, he became the WWF World Heavyweight Champion when he defeated The Rock. Great execution of what King of the Ring should mean. Angle was someone that was coming up. He was hot. He took the crown. He got an even bigger push out of it. He wound up in that three-way feud with Triple H and The Rock, where he was kind of flirting with Stephanie, which was a great angle that they dropped because they felt Triple H's girl would never flirt with someone else, which I think is ridiculous, but that's a different story for a different time. But Angle became a great main eventer for WWE for a long, long time.
But Angle was already experienced in the wrestling world from the Olympics.
Sure.
So when you say an up-and-comer...
Well, he only debuted in pro wrestling on national TV 7 months earlier.
I agree.
So he was still pretty much a newcomer to pro wrestling.
But he learned quickly. He grabbed quickly.
No one ever learned quicker.
He wanted to rise faster. And so there again is the brass ring theory. So it works. They found the right writers to write the right story, and it works. All I can say is King of the Ring is positive for those individuals who get it. It's kind of like me giving you $100 and say, now here.
I'll take it.
Spend it wisely and do what needs to be done with it. No, you probably go out and buy some coffee. You probably go to a movie. Instead of investing it in making a payback, which is what King of the Ring really is, it's an investment of me, WWE, in you to push you up. Now, where will you go from that push? So that's my interpretation of King of the Ring. Who will be there? I still say you're going to see Roman Reigns. 2001,
Edge became the King of the Ring. Took him a little bit to get to that main event spot, but look at what he did with it once he became a true main eventer. That's John Cena's best feud ever was with Edge, in my opinion.
Once him and Cena collided,
Magic.
Edge just blossomed. He became the R-rated superstar I work with Edge, as you know. Edge is a tremendous human being.
Another one of your adversaries.
Yep, but he's a tremendous person. Adam Copeland, I'm going to use his real name. You couldn't ask for a better, more dedicated human being in this business. Just a great, great person. So there again, somebody who saw the brass ring, worked hard for it. They paired him with the right person. Might not have been Cena, might have been somebody else, but it happened to be Cena and Edge, and they clicked. It worked. And from there, it was up, 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 and up. And if he wasn't injured, didn't have to leave professional wrestling, he still would be on top.
And if it wasn't for the injury he sustained in 2003 when he had a broken neck, probably would have reached that main event status even quicker than he did.
Absolutely correct.
And then in 2002, the final King of the Ring on pay-per-view, Brock Lesnar became the king. Look at that. June he became king. In August, he defeated The Rock to become the world champion, and the rest is history. Ever since then, King of the Rings have been featured on free TV. And this year, it's like I said, it's going to be on WWE Raw tonight, and then tomorrow it culminates on the WWE Network. Your prediction for the King of the Ring is?
Roman Reigns.
You know, and again, you made a very good point as far as what's the interpretation of it. I'd like to see, from what I feel King of the Ring should be in my mind, I'd like to see Dolph Ziggler walk away with it.
Let's see who's right.
We don't even know the brackets, though, so it's kind of difficult to make a prediction, you know?
And it's unfortunate. For those of us that have the network, we'll get the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say. For those of us that don't have the network, you're going to get the beginning, but we'll have to read Wednesday on the net to find out who really became
So sign up
King
for
of the Ring, or go to WWE.com and they'll tell you there who became King of the Ring.
All you have to do is sign up for free for the rest of the month. There's no reason to miss it if you have a computer.
You know what? I'm a very frugal person. It ain't worth 4 days, and I'm going to be honest with you.
What?
Let me tell you something. For the tremendous lineup you're talking about,
Yeah.
for 4 days, for free, Dan, come on. Let's be real about this. I would say no. If you're going to sign up because you want good wrestling, you want inside scoops, you really want to have access to that fantastic library and the pay-per-views, which more than covers the value of the network. You know, the only thing I'm looking forward to is Wednesday night for Mick Foley's.
Forgot about that. From down in Orlando.
I
That'll
was
be
part
great.
of that comedy show.
What do you mean you were part of it?
He brought me in.
when he was at Kowloon.
Kowloon, maybe
we
do
have the poster
shtick.
right there.
Yep, maybe do the shtick. And I just want to see how funny it's really going to be if it's the same shtick that we saw there. But that to me, all right, I'll give it to you. Right there is worth $9.99.
All right. So
right there.
If you sign up, you get King of the Ring, you got Foley, you got Stephanie on Jericho, and then on Friday you can pay $9.99. How about that?
It's worth the $9.99. Foley's comedy show, great show. King of the Ring, it's like an apple. Okay, it's there.
Carlito, he's up there too. That's a different story for a different time.
Amen. Where are we going from here?
We're going to wrap up, Johnny. We still have a lot to talk about in our Wrestling Insider series. Check back every day because you never know what's going to happen in the world of wrestling. This man here has great insight. He's a man that has seen it all, done it all, a man that I have a lot of professional issues with. This has been noted over the years, but as a human being, he's a very insightful man, and I enjoy having him on this show. Even when we disagree, it's a respectful disagreement. And I think most people, when they go to town on the internet with the Twitter and the Facebook, they should try and take that into consideration, that they are talking about real human beings behind what they may like or what they may dislike.
It's okay to disagree and agree to disagree.
We forgot about the biggest one.
What's that?
We had to welcome Baby Marathi, the first baby of Boston wrestling in the MWF. We saw the pictures online.
You had a kid?
Well, we can talk about that off the air. There's only going to be the one photo put online of this wonderful little baby, the first baby of Boston wrestling. And do you know what Junior Ambassador Devon Brent said? What's his name? It's a girl. Come on, kid.
I'm not going there.
Well, we'll see you at the christening. For the fabulous one himself, John Cena Sr., I'm Dan Marathi. See you next time on Wrestling Inside as you and yours be well.